trying to find everybody.
Gosh, it's taking forever. Hello. Hi.
What is up?
Hello. Trying to. There we are. There's that one.
Can you hear me good?
So far.
That's
Hi,
good. 'Cause
guys.
I didn't know if headphones were going to work or not.
I need Brian to start watching this live because that was the easiest way to. There you are. Hello.
Sorry for being late.
That's okay.
All right.
Hello.
How we gotta figure out the screen.
That's okay.
All right. How we gotta figure out this.
Go to effects
Here.
or click on your camera thing.
Background. Nope. No. Nope.
What up, Mr. Rubling?
Hi, Jenna. Hi, girl. Welcome in. Hello.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, you're not wrong there, buddy. He's one big old problem.
Right? Yeah.
He didn't pass quality control.
Oh, no.
Hey, we
There
got
he
it.
Oh, God.
Here he is.
What a
We're
day.
here.
Finally.
Yay.
We got everything working up and running good.
And we're good. And I can't believe it's finally the day. How are you guys doing? Brian, how is everything? Are we good? Are we okay? We home safe and sound?
Yeah. I got home maybe about an hour ago.
Oh, good. All right.
Good to hear.
Good. Well, are we ready to officially kick this off?
Let's do it.
I'm so ready.
Okay. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome into the brand new podcast of The Learning Curve. We are a podcast that is focused on brand new bowlers, up-and-comers, and those who just want to improve their game. So come hang out with us, enjoy some tips, tricks, and help us and you guys help us help you improve and bowl and grow the bowling community. We are so excited for this very first premiere episode. This one is just going to be a quick introduction to us four. I'm one of your hosts, Brittle. To my right, I've got Steven, the Utah bowler. We've got Brian, aka Pickles, down here in the bottom right-hand corner, at least on my screen. And then Cobra the Molar underneath me. And I am so excited, you guys, to have this started. How are we all feeling?
Good.
Good. Definitely a little bit excited, a little bit nervous.
Absolutely.
I'm just here.
Typical Cobra answer.
Typical Cobra answer. Well, I have been looking forward to this all week long. Actually, all week long. Like, ever since our phone call, I have been just even more amped up and ready to go. So I want to actually just kick it off with Steven. Let's have you kick it off. Introduce yourself. Tell us how you're feeling about the podcast, what you're kind of hoping for, and what you're most excited about.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about the podcast. Kind of what I'm looking forward for this is definitely want to shed some light more on like youth bowling and how things have changed from back when I got started to how it is now, and especially like how everything's evolving and changing, and especially if youth are dealing with coaches, how that has changed from now on, because now there's so many different styles of bowling, and just kind of wanting to see like the differences from what I've learned to what they're learning, and just kind of seeing how everything has expanded over the years and seeing what like if especially if they're working with coaches how things have progressed.
Awesome. And then what do you biggest, if you could have anybody on the podcast right now, who would it be?
Biggest, I mean, if I want to shoot for the stars,
Yeah.
I think it
Wildest
would
dreams
be
come true.
super cool to have like Norm Duke on the podcast.
That would be awesome.
I think like I've met him a few times and everything, especially going to Bowl the Tat tournaments because he's one of the Storm announcers of that. But just like in the times I've met him, being able to talk to him, pick his brain and everything, getting to know a little bit, just a small amount of what he knows, has just been so awesome. I think having him, like if we could get him on the podcast, it would be so awesome. Just everything he would know.
Awesome. And what are you hoping to learn from the learning curve?
I think the biggest thing I would like to learn is, because it's one of the biggest things I struggle with, is when is like a good time to transition and being able to read ball motion better and reading lanes better.
Sorry. Mr. Rugling, your hand placement next to the pickle does not look good. I'm just saying. What's up,
We're
Josh?
already getting distracted over here.
Trying to get fresh.
Sorry. I couldn't resist that one.
Hey, Josh.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to add, or do you want to move it on to either Brian or Mr. Moeller over here?
Let's go just straight down below me. Let's introduce Brian and see what his thoughts on everything is.
It's pickles, bro.
You're right.
Don't make Steve give you a rub down.
So what was it? What was his first question?
All right, Brian. What are you most excited about for the learning curve?
What I'm most excited about is honestly that we're going to make this podcast more of a forefront to help the younger bowlers that are on TikTok. And by younger, I don't mean just in age. I mean just people that are fresh to TikTok and don't have a ton of following. I really want to make sure that we are supporting that community, because honestly, that's what really got me into TikTok, was because of the bowling community.
Awesome. And then if you could have your number one wildest dream guest star on the learning curve, who would it be?
Victor Cortez.
Oh, we got him in the bag already. Come on.
I was just feeling
I was gonna say we love Victor.
Yes, we love
What?
Victor. In his own words, though, because you can ask him this, he's nobody. He's like, I'm nobody special.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Like,
They all say that, though.
right? Obviously. But he's amazing, and we love him. And we want him on, and he's actually willing to here in the next couple of weeks. So that will be an amazing episode.
Yeah. I mean, all honesty, I would love it.
Say that one more time.
True.
Time out. Somebody's got traffic
Like
flowing.
traffic going through.
It makes
Is that
And wind.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's me. I'm outside, and for some reason, this road that's dead all day just happens to have traffic.
Okay.
Because we can't have anything nice without having
have anything nice around
problems.
But yeah,
Okay.
I would say Troop.
true?
Troop would be awesome to talk to.
Awesome. And then, most importantly, what are you hoping to learn from the learning curve?
Not only do I want to make sure that we're concentrating on helping other people grow, I want to figure out how we can all like grow a little bit quicker. So yes, us supporting each other is great, but learn a little bit more about how we can expand and not still be how do I put it? Still be relevant to like bowling content, but not necessarily have to be like I'm just doing bowling content.
Right. Awesome.
Because some of us have dogs.
Right. Right. We love the puppies around here. We love puppy videos. And some of us are just, weirdos who do weird transitions and things like that every once in a while.
Aren't we all weird in some aspect?
Oh, we're bowlers, obviously.
Always.
We're
Yeah.
All right. Well, Cobra, it's your turn.
I am unique, okay? I'm not weird. I'm unique.
You're quirky.
No. My thing is, I just want to learn more about the game. I mean, transition's a big factor. Attitude. Being humble by taking criticism from people and how to deal with it, and spread it onto somebody else who you see struggling just like you were. That's what I want to see from it.
You put headphones on.
No, I didn't. I've always
No.
had headphones on.
I'm saying, if you don't want to hear that negativity, you just put the headphones on.
You black them out.
Yep.
Even with headphones on, my lives get flashed. I mean,
You should just post it.
Seriously.
I mean, hello. I
you
posted
know
a
how bitchy
video of a
probably
guy
get on it?
sitting down on the approach. Like,
I guarantee you get a lot of hits on that video. I know it.
Right, I agree.
I know you would.
it all depends on what TikTok wants to be like one day, you know.
Hey, Michael. Thanks for stopping
What's
in,
up,
buddy.
T-Gap? I don't have a celebrity or a big time person that I want to see brought in, because I even though they're bigger than us, they're still human, and I would never, to me personally, would never kiss anybody's ass in that aspect. That's just me. It's nothing personal. I don't mean that disrespectfully to anybody. It's just I'm a behind the scenes, go with the flow type person. I'm not going to gulk.
awesome. And then I think you already said it, but you said that you're wanting to learn from Learning Curve more transitional type things, kind of like what Steven said.
Transitional to arsenal to what you do with a trip 4 or a stone 8, a stone 9, or you see what I'm saying? I want to learn more in depth.
Awesome. Well, then, okay. Is it me now? Is it my turn?
Yes, ma'am.
Do I have to
It's
go
Britt's turn.
I don't want to go now. You guys are all amazing, and now I'm just over here going, I don't know what to say. All right. Well, I mean, I guess I am most excited about the Learning Curve for the biggest reason, most of all, is this is the first podcast I've seen with a female host that has to do with bowling.
Yes.
I have seen a lot of female guests on podcasts, but I haven't really seen anybody bridge that gap between where we have a normal, everyday host that's a female. And I am so excited to be that person for this podcast. I'm so excited to be able to bridge that gap and help bring in more of a female presence to these podcasts, because let's face it, sometimes us girls can do it a little bit better than the boys, right?
Oh, 100%. I agree with that.
So I am super, super, super excited because we have some really awesome female guests lined up here soon. We've got Miss Jenna J Dud. I know she's already in the live. She's been tapping away. She's liking the live as always. She's so supportive. She's a girl from Alaska. She's amazing. We've got Megan Morgan, M&M Bowling. She's lined up and ready to go. We just got to get a date that's good for her. Kenzie West, co-host and co-founder of Championship Bowling here in Utah. Big stuff going on here. we're having her on the podcast. She's learning. She's a rookie. She's an up and comer. We are so excited to bring that female presence forward and help celebrate and feature more females and help really spotlight them as well. If I could have anybody on the podcast besides the Victor thing, we all know the Victor thing. But if I could have anybody on the podcast, my wish list, my golden star would be Daria.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that woman. And I'm crying. I'm already crying. I fangirl
Make it
so
happen.
hard over
TikTok,
her.
do your thing.
She's amazing. And Steven knows this because he's seen me do it in person.
You just bring up her name. She goes.
You bring up her name, I start bawling like a baby because she is a superhuman representative of all things bowling. And that female aspect is just...
And she's
I wanna
very
be like her when I grow
cool
up.
and collective.
Yeah. I mean, she just shot a 300 at the PWBA stop or whatever, her very latest one. And she just walked off, was like,
Yep.
and was cool with it. I'm like, I want to be like her. I so want to be like her. And if I could get her on this podcast, my whole year would be made. And then in regards to what I want to learn, I want to learn from the learning curve. I made a drastic change recently, as everybody knows. I went from 15 pounds to 14 pounds, so I'm rebuilding my arsenal basically from the ground up. So I had a lot of mismatched balls. I didn't really have anything that complemented each other in regards to what I had arsenal-wise with 15 pounds. So I'm really looking forward to learning how to build a proper arsenal bag, whether that's for a league bag or a tournament bag. And I also have some questions for like physical approach form stuff too, for like Victor when it comes to like that spine tilt thing he's always talking about and things like that, really how to break that down. So I'm super excited to start learning those tips and tricks that we're talking about and how to improve our games. So it's going to be awesome, I think. I think it's going to be great.
I think so too. I have to add though one thing. Women, you just said women do it better, but I want to give you a different perspective. When men and women work together, they're an unstoppable force.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. And that is the whole point of this podcast and why I think that this is going to be a very successful endeavor for all of us. And not just the four of us, but every single person who joins our lives, who interacts with our lives, who shares and reposts our videos, promoting our guests and everything, because what we're doing is we are highlighting and we're spotlighting these other people to help grow not just ourselves, but to grow them as well and to cast that wider net, because it is surprisingly shocking how many people go, bowling's still a relevant thing?
Right.
Yeah. We're still here and we're still thriving and we are still growing and fighting our way up through that, trying to get recognized. We are still here and we're all bowlers. It doesn't matter how we do it. It doesn't matter if we're two-handers, left-handers, right-handers, three fingers, whatever, right? We all throw the ball. We all hope to knock down all 10 pins every time.
Right.
Right,
And we're
100%.
a big family and a big community. And I think, what was that meme the other day? It's the only sport where we will compete against each other, but those competitors will also cheer us on.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Every time. Every time.
They might talk a little smack, but it's usually friendly banter.
Absolutely.
You don't necessarily it's more of a joking around thing. It's not like
Right.
they really want you just to tank. I mean, they're still rooting for you.
Right. I mean,
Right.
I know that there's people that I'm like, I'll bowl against them and I'll be talking smack on them every time. But if they go for that 300 shot, that strike for the 300, I am going to be the loudest cheerer there.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I have to say, though, I have noticed in the past year there is a huge increase in bowling on TikTok alone.
Yes. And I've noticed that too. And I love that. Right. And I think it's because a lot of people have been noticing more and more TikTok accounts posting bowling content. I know, like, for example, Mookie Bowls. You guys know his screen name, right? Jersey Boy.
Yep.
Okay. Literally, I chatted with him the other night after he joined my live. I sent him a message and I was like, thank you so much. Like, I know the time difference is crazy, but it means so much to me that you joined my live. He goes, you're one of the reasons I started posting content.
Right.
You're one of the reasons I started going live. I started watching your lives and I was like, how do I hear her on the approach when she's up there? And then I realized she's got a microphone on. I could do that too. Might as well. Like, she's letting everything loose in her head. She's telling you the full honest truth about what she's thinking when she throws that ball. Like, I love that. I want to see more of that. And so he decided to get mics. And then the next day he was like, here we go. So I'm like, I love seeing more and more bowling accounts. And I think it's because people are getting more and more across their feeds and they're seeing everybody post more and more bowling content. And they're like, I could do that too.
One of the other things that I could add to that is that I've noticed it probably in the last month or two, how much like love and respect we're getting, like with reposts and just liking or sharing the stories, like that. Getting tagged in other people's posts is like such, I want to say it like an honor, but it kind of is.
Right.
Like it's showing that they recognize you, and like it is a community, and we're all here to support each other.
Oh, and absolutely. And as you guys, and as a lot of people know, Mr. Cober and Mr. Pickles here, they're also on another podcast, Bowlers Helping Bowlers, which is on Monday nights. They will continue being part of Bowlers Helping Bowlers. Monday nights, they're going to be cross applesaucing these podcasts because of how much these guys love and want to grow and support this community. So we are so excited to not only be helping and supporting that podcast, Bowlers Helping Bowlers. We're going to still share, support, watch their lives, join in on them. But we're also, they're going to show the love back to us as well. Like, we are so excited to be able to like help grow and lift everybody up. I know we all talked to Michael from DGAB, Damn Good Average Bowler. He is welcome always on our open forum chats, podcast episodes, which is great. He's always got a spot available if he wants to jump in.
By the way, on top of that, I just want to add thank you to DGAB and Dustin, because they're the ones that came up with actually the learning curve. So thank you for that suggestion.
He took that first step, right? He's like the lunar moon landing, right? One small step for us bowlers, one, for him, one giant leap for the bowling community. And so
would it be a giant slide?
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Before I forget this point he brought up, and just fills off of you, the youth has brought a following back to bowling because the parents are getting involved with their children, and their children are going to do these bowling meets and tournaments and stuff like that. And it is the future. And I'm sorry to say, two-handers and backup bowlers, they are the future.
Oh, absolutely.
Fact, Butchie.
And Steve, do you want to add into this, because this is more your department than mine?
Yeah. Just going off of that, there's more styles than backup and two-handed bowling and everything that I'm definitely excited on learning about. Sorry, I moved away from my other phone, so I lost all my notes. yeah, I had everything lined up, and I was like, it's just too noisy outside. I'm gonna move inside. But yeah, just with all the new up and coming styles and everything, it's not just about like the one-handed bowling or even two-handed bowling now. Like there's I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he throws right-handed backup down here, and like he's just, I was like, I don't even understand how you do that, like consistently shot after shot. I'm like, I want to dive into, that's one thing I definitely want to dive into, is just like the unique styles that are out there.
Right. I mean, that's what I love about, like, for example, like my Tuesday bowling league team. My girl, the young one, the child that I have, she's not a child. I mean, she just barely turned 18. But the youth bowler that I have on my Tuesday team, she's a backup bowler. She just barely got her first actual bowling ball, and she bowled her first 140 game, I think, which is her highest league bowling score. Not her like personal best, but her highest league score, which was a very exciting thing. And she just did that this last Tuesday. So I've got a backup bowler on my teams. I bowl against two-handers. I'm so exactly 10 back is 10 back. Like I said earlier in the podcast, right? We don't care how we throw. We don't care how we do it, as long as those pins go down.
Just get
Yep,
there.
I agree.
I mean, it's just like life. It's going to progress with you or without you. You just got to go with the progression. It's just simple as that.
And you just got to ignore the people who are going to dig their heels in and not go with the progression, unfortunately.
Well, they're just jealous they can't.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, they're always going to be there.
They're always going to be there.
But you also will have all the other people that are there that are like, wow, like what you're doing is amazing. And you're like, oh, I'm kind of a disaster.
Right? You're like, I feel like I'm throwing the worst shots on the planet right now, but you're saying I'm cool?
Right. So, I mean,
that reminds me of my last Thursday league. Is somebody sitting there, I'm throwing, like, I am not consistent whatsoever, and there's this guy who's just like, dude, you're so smooth through the ball and everything, I'm so jealous. I'm like, really? Because I'm throwing like crap. I'm like, I appreciate the compliments, but like, if you're gonna compliment me, at least compliment me when I'm doing good.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm hoping that people will get out of this, right? Is that it, again, doesn't matter how we do it. And hopefully with us being able to talk about different bowling styles, different bowling techniques, hopefully being able to feature those different styles, right? And bringing light down on those guys, that hopefully more people will recognize that they're not doing it the wrong way.
Right.
There is no wrong way.
I was just gonna say, I don't think there is a wrong way. There's just different ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I am so excited, you guys. I cannot begin to tell you. Now, the nice thing and the awesome thing about this podcast is something that we are doing different with this podcast is we are all taking turns hosting. So this week is my turn to host because we're kicking it off with just a quick little introduction episode, right? But next week we will be on this guy's page, Steven's page. Steven will be hosting. So if you do not follow Steven, the Utah Bowler, Steven, go ahead and will you type your username, screen name down in the chat, please?
Yeah.
I do.
Click on his name. And
Or
the
just
chat's
put
in
on
the
his
Yes,
name.
that would work as well.
Follow him yet. Follow him so that you guys do not miss next week's episode. We are going live at the same time, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Steven, who are we having on as a guest?
So next week, I'm super excited because it is definitely one of the first bowling TikTok accounts that I followed. Definitely one of the ones that have helped me the most with either arsenal, different movements, hand positions, and everything. And that person is Zach from ZVL Bowling. So I'm super excited to have him on. He's just a wealth of knowledge. One of the most amazing, kind people that you will ever get to talk to.
And
Like,
we have some awesome, exciting topics to talk to him about, huh?
Oh, so many topics.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm just
we
gonna
are-
say he's gonna be able to talk on any subject for a very long time if he wants to.
He might
Right.
also,
Well-
we may have to have him back on as, a second time or even a third time. We'll have him back on as many times as he's willing to be on this show. I am also excited because, so the format, I forgot to talk about the format. The format of this podcast is we are going to do 2 guests per month and then 2 open forum chat type style podcasts like tonight's episode. Twice a month as well. That way, anybody can jump into the chat and ask questions on those open forums. You can have questions answered. If Michael from DGAB has, some juicy bowling tidbit story that he wants to share with us, he can always jump in on those ones and things like that. But on the episodes that we have guests on, it'll be like every other one. So this week's the open forum. Next week will be the guest chat. Week after forum, things like that. We will be skipping the weekend of the 4th of July. Is that what we decided, you guys?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So expect only 3 episodes for the month of July, but we are super, super excited. So next week, like I said, we're going to be on this guy's page, Steven, the Utah Bowler, with Zach as our guest from ZBL. And we are ready to get this kicked off, right, fellas?
Absolutely.
100%, yep.
All right. Well, do you guys have any other last things you want to add in? Does anybody in the chat have any questions for us? Do you guys?
Jerry.
Yeah, kind of what I want to do is I want to just ask everybody who's in here in the chat, like, what are they expecting from this podcast? Like, what do they want to learn?
What do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to? I have noticed. I really have. So, do you guys mind if I answer
No.
this guy's
Go
question?
ahead.
Perfect. Awesome.
I'm
So-
not throwing
DGAP.
questions down, so I can't
DGAP will
answer
get DGAP will get to yours too.
Yes. So I have really actually noticed a huge difference in throwing from going from 15 to 14. So I made the huge conscious decision to drop in weight because I was dealing with wrist pain. And I had like some pitch issues and things with my bowling balls. So biggest thing I've noticed is my endurance. I have been able to do more than 3 games without feeling any fatigue. And that's huge for me when I'm thinking about our like showdown style tournaments where we have a 4-game qualifier, or when we have our USLAT tournaments where I have to continue, where I make, the cut or whatever, and I have to continue bowling after that in order to continue advancing into the finals. So I've noticed huge differences in my endurance is the biggest number one thing. I haven't noticed any really high scores, but that's because it's just all a matter of getting used to that weight change, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I also chime in on this topic? Because my bag is a mixed bag between a couple of 15-pound balls and a couple of 14-pound balls. And the reason why I decided to do that is a lot of my equipment that I would use like later in blocks and like tournaments, I have as 14 pounds, just because by the time I get to like further down the block and lane transition and everything, my weaker balls are 14 pounds because depending on how long I've been bowling, my arm is just exhausted. Right. So when I notice my ball speed dropping, I can switch to 14 pounds and get that ball speed back up to where it needs to be to continuously get a similar motion and my ball to go through the pins in a similar way.
Awesome. Okay, fellas, DGAB asked us high games, high series. Go, Steven.
So my high game is a 300 and my high series is an 827.
Nice. Pickles.
My high game is a 299. Still searching for that damn 300. My high series, I think, was a 747.
Cobra.
So I'm a no tapper, so I'm 9-pin a lot of times. So I've got quite a few 300s, 9-pin. My highest non-9-pin is 298. My highest series, I think, was 797.
I sound
Your
like
turn.
a chump compared to you guys.
Your turn.
Come on, girl.
I sound so pathetic.
You're fine.
Get in
Okay.
the mix.
And both of these happened like 2 years ago. I haven't even been able to get close to them since. But high game is a 268, and my high series is a 672.
That's not bad, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely not bad.
Both
bad
of
at
which
all.
did not happen at the same time. It was not like high series, high game kind of a night. The first time I shot a 260 game was at a USELAC tournament at Davis, and then like the next 2 times I bowled at League, I shot another 260 game. It went like a 266, 268, 267 is basically how that 3 went. And then my 672 series was at Valley. And I used one ball. I used my Global 900 Eternity, the OG Eternity. I moved maybe 2 boards all night long. And then 672 happened. So, poof. But I haven't been able to get there since.
So,
Okay, so Britt
DGAB and Big Josh Bowling kind of asked
Hold on.
similar questions.
Okay, yeah, good job. So, Britt, we're going to give you the 4. Let's go in reverse order.
Okay.
Who was your biggest influence that got you into bowling?
I grew up with bowlers, so honestly, it was a family thing. You guys are gonna make me cry again. You guys suck. I had an uncle. His name was Robert Skadden. He passed away 2 years ago now, I think, or like just after Christmas. He was a PBA guy. He was a big storm guy. Whole entire family bowls. And I'm the obscure cousin on that other side of the family who took after them and started bowling because of them. And now because a lot of his family doesn't bowl as much anymore, I kind of am carrying that torch for the family. And so every time I bowl, I feel him with me. And so he's really the reason why I got in, and which is why I have this tattoo is in remembrance of my uncle. So he is my biggest, he's the reason why I got into bowling. But my biggest influence for bowling, because I know that somebody else asked that question, and I'm taking it as 2 different questions in my opinion. My biggest influences are Marsha Klumpkin. Honestly, I want to bowl like Marsha. And Steven, I know Steven Steven's going rolling his eyes over there, but she's a local here. Her husband works for Storm. She's a Storm staffer. She is 50 and like finally just hit her prime when it comes to the bowling thing, and she's killing it. And I love her, and I love her sassy attitude. She doesn't stand for shit.
That's so true.
He does not stand for shit, and I appreciate that from her. And so she's consistent, and I love watching her. And so anytime I get to watch her in the same building or whatnot, I always go talk to her. I always try to ask her questions if I can pick her brain for a minute. And if I could convince her to coach me, I'd probably be unstoppable. I'm not gonna lie.
Agreed.
I'd be dangerous.
I got to pick her brain the last tournament I went to. Me and her were bowling on the same pair, and I was like, opportunities.
Yes. Take them where you can get them.
All the time.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. What about you, Steven? Wait, no, it's you. We're going.
All right, hold on. I'm going to pass it over to Brian so he can address the Derek comment from D Good or D Gap real quick. Out of respect.
Well, he mentioned that he found his spec card today from Derek Tate, and I just told him to make sure you hang on to that, because honestly, I'd probably put that in a frame and make some type of gesture out of it, to be honest.
Oh, I would.
For sure.
Right.
Or I would make a copy and see if maybe if you could do like a shadow box type thing with like one of his bowling shoes as well, or something like that, or like a bowling accessory that he used. Like, that would be so special.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so Britt, answer Josh's question. So I'll just answer. I'll stack the questions on top and just answer, then we can just go from there.
Cool.
What ball brands do you prefer over others?
I'm a Storm girl.
All right.
Storm
Okay, so
Yellow and Global, baby. SPI all the way.
okay, so I prefer Brunswick. I'm more of a hammer bowler, but I do have other Brunswick products. I prefer them over anything else because the family, they all have Storm. I want to keep my ball separate from them. I don't want to have the same thing, so I'm different. Right. The one that gets you the most strikes. So what got me into bowling? We bowled a lot when we were younger, and obviously, kids, life, everything changes. Well, a couple years ago, me and the wife were in a rough patch in our relationship. And for women, it is a lot harder when your kids start to go on and start their own lives. And we just went through a rough patch, and bowling actually brought us all back together. My son bowls with us now. My youngest daughter was bowling with us, and the three other kids that we have, they were coming out to hang out. So that kept us the family, given like something to do to keep us all entwined with each other. And my biggest influence to go competitive was a 17-year-old boy my daughter was dating at the time. Watching him bowl so phenomenal at 17 years old, it just inspired me to want to get better. We would go to his meets because his mom wouldn't go, so we wanted to show support because that's just the type of people we are. Mm-hmm. And he was struggling because his mom wasn't there, or his parents weren't there, his grandparents or whatever. So we kind of took him under our wing, and it actually motivated me to want to get better so I could help him get better too. So that was my biggest influence.
I would say my what got me into bowling was definitely my dad when I was younger. Growing up in Northeast Ohio, there's not a lot to do in the wintertime. So that was one of the things we did in the wintertime. and he always stomped the living Jesus out of me. Even, yes, I know I was a kid, but I was like, oh man, like I wish I could bowl over 200, you know? So that's what like got me into it when I was young. I took a long break, just I think like a lot of people do. I got back into it as more of a after work kind of thing to do with the guys because I do work construction and stuff like that. So kind of one of the things construction guys kind of do. But what got me actually into being like a competitive aspect was just personal goals, to be honest. I basically said when I got to 40 years old, I was going to change some things in my life and try to be healthier when it comes to certain things of bad habits. Meaning tobacco, stay off tobacco. But it was more of just setting goals and setting standards for yourself. Because if you don't really have those goals set, then what are you really working towards? So that was probably my biggest thing. Obviously, I'm pretty sure everyone knows where I'm going with the brand. I have fallen in love with swag. Honestly, that ball is what got me my first place win in the state open. And I'm very excited to keep throwing that ball, and I'm looking forward to anything that they're going to be putting out. Period. Dot.
I'm so proud of you. Like when you've been posting so many good scores lately with those balls. Like when you find the stuff that works for you, it doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Right.
Haters gonna hate no matter what. Doesn't matter.
It's just like how we were talking about styles. It doesn't matter the style. It doesn't matter what you're doing that's different from A, B, or C.
Right.
As long as all pins fall down, that's all that matters.
Right.
Hey, at least you know nobody can take your balls because you're the only one in the house with swag balls, right? If they touch it, you'd be like, hey, that's my ball.
Yeah, that one's
Right.
two fingers. So none of them pick them up.
You swag.
They're like, wait, where's the thumb hole? I'm like, there is no thumb hole.
We don't do thumbs
Right.
around.
It's in your ass.
Family friendly. Family friendly.
All right, Steven, your turn.
Let's get back on topic.
Yes, please.
So the person who got me into bowling would also be my dad. My dad and my uncle grew up as bowlers. Both of them were in the Army. Both of them were on a bowling league in the base, and then when they got out of the Army, they kind of got their children into it. But for my dad, the only one that really stuck with is me, and then for my uncle, the only one who stuck with was my cousin. So my dad got me into bowling. He brought me to bowling alleys when I was about 6 years old, and as soon as I was able to join a league, I joined a league with him, and me and him it's just started to go on a week basis where we'd just go and compete with each other. He would always beat me until he didn't, and then it would be way more competitive. It was always fun to bowl with him. And then my biggest influence when it comes to bowling would probably be my cousin Matt. Ever since we got into bowling, he's always been a better bowler than me. I'm now creeping up on him. I've always loved watching him bowl, and still, ever since I picked up a bowling ball, one of my biggest goals is to outbowl him. Still haven't been able to this day. I think I looked it up the other day because he moved. I think it was Missouri is where he moved to, and looked to see what his last average was. 247 average. I'm like, I'm getting there, just not that good. So yeah, my goal still to this day is I'm gonna one day challenge him and beat him.
Awesome.
I like it.
Set those goals.
So,
And Brett, are you the same as me?
oh, yeah, yeah, brand that I prefer is Storm SPI products. I think, especially for me and Britt, it's an obligation. Living
Utah.
we live in Utah. Everybody here throws Storm.
In my case, I live 30 minutes away from the storm plant. In your case, you live like an hour and ish away from the storm plant. If we live that close, we have an obligation.
Yeah. Also, if anybody ever comes to Utah, the freaking memory lanes, the Storm
The museum.
museum, oh, it's amazing. You have to stop there and go. It's one of the best things. There's so much history in that building.
DGAP had another question. Would you guys give out a shout out to
Yes.
your pro shop operators? Please, peeps who drill your stuff. Most definitely. Britt, you want to go, or one of you guys want to go first?
I'll go first. My pro shop operator's name is Jody Edwards. He is the operator of the Precision Bowling Pro Shop in the bowling alley that I bowl at is Spare Time Lanes in Roy, Utah. He's incredible. I bounced around from pro shop to pro shop, guys. I kind of had trust issues. I've had a lot of not necessarily like bad trust issues, but like I've had so many people tell me so many different things that I was like, I need one person to just sit with me for a minute and just kind of explain things to me before I really like make a decision on how I want to bowl. And when I decided that I was going to start fresh, basically, I went to Jody and I was like, I need to redo everything from top to bottom. I don't want you to copy a ball. I want you to treat me as if I'm a brand new bowler coming in for the first time. I want you to remeasure everything for me. And he has been incredible. So huge shout out to him, Precision Pro Shop. He also throws a sweeper on Saturdays during the fall season where he puts a different sports pattern down every week. So it's pretty fun to like be able to go out and experience those different patterns as well. So really cool dude. So if you're ever in Utah, you're ever in Roy, you need a ball drilled up real quick, he is your man.
Right, I'll go next. My pro shop operator is Bryce Turner here in American Fork where I live. He is over at Jack and Jill's Lanes. I was also like Britt, bouncing around from different, like, just from wherever I got my ball that day is where I'd get drilled. Now I only go to Bryce because he was the first pro shop operator who actually took the time and like I bowled with him for a good long time. I went into a shop one day and was like, hey, I would like to purchase this ball. And he's like, I get what you're saying, but the way your style is and everything, I think this would be better. He sit there and was talking about the way I throw and everything. I was like, dude, I've never had somebody go this deep into like helping me match up with a ball. And like ever since then, I was like, he always knows that like how I like my balls drilled, what he always gives me recommendations of like different drillings and everything, and he just takes the time and care into everybody who walks into his pro shop to make sure that they get they have the best experience possible. And then on top of that, besides him being a pro shop operator, he also does embroidering. So being able to be like, hey, can you add this to a jersey and everything? He's like, oh yeah, awesome. 15 minutes and it's done. So.
Here's a jack of all trades, if you might say.
Right. Yeah, and he also sits there and he doesn't judge me because every single ball I have, it doesn't matter the color of ball. I'm like, I need purple grips. And he's always is like, yeah, I got them for you. Because so many times I've been sitting there and been in a tournament, I'm like, I don't know what ball's mine. So now all my balls have purple grips.
We like colorful grips around here. All mine are black,
Right.
but we like purple grips. That's a thing. Are you guys, so Steven's all purple?
Yep, every single one.
Every single one. Cobra, do all your inserts match?
I don't want to talk about it.
Pickles?
No, I honestly, it depends on the ball. Like my craze, I have one blue one and one pink one because one lines up on pink, one lines up on blue. So I kind of try to like use something that is complementary to the ball or something that kind of gets disguised in the ball. Depends on the ball.
Gotcha. D-Gab, Michael, I was actually just talking to Brian about this a couple of days ago. I am actually going to be brave. I'm going to start being brave. And I am going to dip my toe into maybe doing some more of the bigger league female bowling tournaments that like Shelby Riesinger does and like Lizzie Reese and everything like in Butte, Montana and stuff like that. I am actually going to try and see if I can gracefully have my ass handed to me on the lanes. And see how frustrated I can get because Shelby's already warned me. She's like, you will have your ass handed to you. You will be humbled and then you'll try it again thinking you'll do a little bit better and then you'll get it handed to you again. So at this point, like I said, I'm going to dip my toe, but I feel like I'm going to be making some attempts at some bigger and scarier tournaments.
So that's actually a good question, kind of for everybody. You guys have any like particular goal set in the bowling aspect? Are you guys doing anything like tournament wise, sport pattern shot wise? What are your plans for this year?
Yeah, so here I think it's about in a month and a half, I'm going to be bowling my first PBA event with the Storm Utah Open. Super nervous. I was going to bowl it last year. Chickened out last minute. And yeah, so I'm going to sit there and just commit.
It's a bitch.
Oh, I was going to say, I did get to practice on the pattern. I literally snuck my way into practice and they kicked me out. It was so terrible.
It is hard. It's hard. They purposely make it this way. And we have some pros that come bowl it, like Darius bowled on it. I think Ryan Barnes has come and bowled on it.
Yep.
Brad Miller and Kyle
Sherman.
Brad and Kyle, they've come and bowled on it and stuff like that. They have said it's even harder than the stuff that they bowl on a regular basis.
Yeah, I was going to say, last year I got to talk to Darren Tang and Mitch Hubei, who were here bowling it.
Right.
And yeah, they were like, it's all, like, we come down here because it is a difficult, like, the patterns they lay out for it are super difficult.
Mm-hmm. Victor Cortez is actually planning on coming, I think, this next one to the next Storm Open. He's like, I am planning on making a run at that thing. So We might have a Victor Cortez sighting in Utah come January 2026.
So,
Fangirl.
Brian, you want to pick back up on the pro shop thing?
Pro shop.
Oh yes.
When I first moved here to Fort Lauderdale, the league house that I'm in, they don't have basically a full pro shop. It is literally a closet with a press. So it's a little rough. Don't get me wrong. I didn't have any real issues with anything that he did per se, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to access other things. And then, especially since I have gone to swag, and there's not a lot of swag knowledge about their numbers per se. To Striker's bowling alley.
Sorry.
What am I missing?
You got to read it, Brian. You got to read the comments. You'll laugh too.
You guys is mean. Don't call me out on that.
Man, how much money we can make?
I'd be so broke. I'd be so.
She's gonna have to get a part-time job.
It's like a swear jar.
Like a swear jar.
Da-dunk.
I'm gonna come up with a code name for him, and you'll never know what it is.
Oh, we will know.
Oh yeah, we will, because your eyes glisten.
You know why we'll know? It's because you'll be stuttering.
Your voice cracks.
Gosh dang it! I'm trying to be professional here. Damn it!
Yeah, we all try.
We're trying.
Is it my turn for Pro Shop now?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First and foremost, we have great opportunities at Pro Shop information from quite a few content creators on this app, like DGAP,
Exactly.
some other people. I am lucky enough to have a PBA Pro, well, X Pro as a. I don't know if he's still a pro or not, but he is a good baseline for information. Brian Himmler. He's currently trying to help me figure out my grip problems. So that's why I don't want to talk about it. But he's always just been real humble. He's real nice. He throws us a lot of discounts. He helps us out with a lot. So I mean, he's just there for you. I mean, I've done side work for his dad's house on mowing. So I mean, he's a really good guy. I mean, these pro shop guys are still people at the end of the day. So that's all I have.
Nailed it. We had our hour. We've been on for an hour. We decided this was going to be a 30 to 45 minute episode, and we're at the hour mark. We are at the hour mark already.
Hey, there were a lot of good questions.
Episode.
Are you really shocked?
All right, Mr. Rubling, you haven't asked a question yet, and we know you're dying to.
Oh, come on.
Come on, anybody. Keep them rolling. I'm having fun. Let's go. Hi, Chad.
Yeah, that's fact.
It's true. And Miss Black Swan is in here as well. She sent Cobra some tiny dinies, man.
Oh, thank you. I'm so sorry. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all the gifts, y'all. We do appreciate it. We love your support, and we love each of you.
Yes.
Butchie,
Absolutely.
yes, we do. That's the whole point. Ask us, please.
Butchie, who hurt you, bro? Why do you like
That
a
McGriddle.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
McGriddle
McGriddle.
hurt him.
Came out after him. Yeah. Hey, I had one of those for
Maybe
breakfast,
Bolero.
by the way.
Okay, let's see.
What are your thoughts on McGriddles?
You're going to strike up a controversy around here.
Big Jen, hi sir, how are you? I miss these guys. These guys are awesome.
We love you.
Okay, I
guys.
got a question. I got a question for everybody in chat. What do you want to see from this? Because we're doing this more for you than ourselves.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Ooh, I like that question.
That is a good question.
I can go on, Butchie, about a local issue regarding that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, it's you don't lie.
Yeah.
Don't lie. Don't lie. It can be found. It can be proven wrong. Don't lie.
And please don't lie when you go into a tournament and try to claim more handicap. Like,
Just don't.
like,
Right, I agree.
Steve Rubling. So I love to play in heavy oil because my pure envy is spectacular in heavy oil. That's a hook monster. But it all depends on what I want. I mean, if it's a medium oil, I'll just switch to the Mania, you know. I mean, I'm kind of like a heavy oil type guy because not many people can do it because it's hit or miss. Either you're going to miss or you're going to hit. I mean, it's just simple as that.
what's everyone's favorite bowl as of right now?
Harsh reality. I talked about this in my live on Tuesday.
My favorite ball would. I have to go with the goat. I love my phase 2.
Okay.
Hi, AJ.
Clover?
Honestly, it depends on what I'm doing. I mean, sports shots here lately, the Swag Ace has actually been saving my rear. On house shot, the Mania is crushing it right now. I had a 297, 277, 264, and a 282, I think, the other day with it.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I think mine's crazy.
Britt, can you pen J Dub's question so we can come back to it?
What was it?
I'm trying to find that.
He says, "What's something
What
guys like you?"
He asked what is something that you guys like to do before a league and a tournament to help you focus.
Great question.
And Miss Swan, if you're still in here, I told you I wouldn't give up on that Swag Ace just yet, and I've been throwing it like I said, and it's actually getting a little bit easier to use.
Is it
Now,
taming
go ahead
out
with the
now that you're throwing it more? Was it a problem that it was like too aggressive for you?
To be honest, and I'm not trying to bash anything, it's because of the high friction on the lanes. It's making it's not super aggressive. It's not weak. It's just staying there, you know, where you need it to.
I saw that too, D-Gab.
Hey,
But
now.
we can go to that question now. Brian, what's your go-to focus?
Even like, I don't know if I really have like a go-to focus per se. Like, if it's like a team event, and then the next day is like doubles and singles. Obviously, I take team events as the learning curve, because you kind of have to work together as a team to make it function. And then the second day, you just let all that drama go, because sometimes you're going to run into that drama.
Excuse me.
And then reset yourself, go in with one game plan, and don't veer off of it. Just tell yourself that you need to stick with that one thing, make your adjustments, and then it'll pan itself out. Don't overthink.
What about you, Steve?
Yeah, so um my thing to get focused, especially before league, is all like actually before anything, before league tournaments, is like just before is make sure I stretch. Like stretching like is so important to me. Getting up there for practice and not being super tight. And then like actual during league or tournaments, if I find myself getting frustrated, the way I refocus is so I'm not usually one to have like headphones on while I bowl. Unless I'm super upset and then I put headphones on and I literally just put it on like a Zen garden
Okay.
and just
I'll
listen
accept
to like waterfalls and harps and stuff. And that helps me slow down and breathe and make sure I'm not either pushing through my ball um or it helps me with timing and everything.
Yeah, which is the same with me. That's one of the reasons why I wear them. It's opposite for some reason. I don't know why. The faster the music I'm listening to, the slower I'll throw that ball. The slower the music, the harder I throw it. I don't know why, but I've noticed it.
Oh, I'm opposite of you. I have two bowling playlists specifically designed on whether I need, like, if I'm going into something knowing that I need to throw
Slower or
slower,
faster?
faster, or whatnot. I have two playlists that are specifically designed for each.
Right. And honestly, like I thought I'm like, oh, I need to throw this ball harder. I'm gonna listen to fast music, and I did it for like basically like 2 weeks, and my ball speed was really slow, and I'm like, and then I changed it to slower music, and then I noticed my ball speed was like 2 miles an hour faster, and I'm like, I don't know why, but it is what it is. So if it's just a slower tempo that I'm actually like releasing the ball faster, and I might be rushing the faster tempo. I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I just need something to remind me, hey, just relax. Like, especially when I get frustrated, because when I get frustrated, I tend to want to try to make the ball do more than it should. And I try to, like, just rip the cover off of it. So I just need to remember, hey, relax your swing, relax your steps, and just let the ball do the work.
That right there. Sometimes I swear to God, I'll get into a mood that I'm like, I can make this work. I can make this work. I can make this work, and it's not going to work because you're trying to overthrow the ball.
Right.
What's your focus, Britt?
Well, I like to, partake in some lettuce.
Recreational.
That's the garden.
I like to eat some salad. I like to eat salad.
Right.
And then mostly I put headphones in and I listen to, depends on my mood. If I'm trying to like get into a better mood, obviously I listen to hyper up music, right? Real headbangers, kind of things like that. And I turn it as loud as I possibly can so I do not hear a single person or a single thing. And I get ready, and then and then as practice goes on or whatnot, like the music will start getting quieter for me, and then by the time practice is over, I'll turn it off completely and I'll be ready to go because I'll have like really dialed in, hopefully myself at that point, and hopefully it shows. But typically Tuesdays don't get to be that way for me anymore because I am the league secretary for the summer, and so I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off before we start. So the focus thing doesn't really happen for me a lot on Tuesdays anymore. But that's regardless of whether I'm doing tournaments or league. Is my routine stays the same so that I have that same mindset. I try to treat league as if I were in a tournament, just because I like to keep that mentality consistent game wise throughout. So
My go-to focus would be just sitting down and watching other people practice as we go. Just to see what they're doing with their adjustments or where their target lines are, to kind of read the moisture or the humidity or whatever the scenario may be in the bowling alley. And my wife will tell you, when I hyper focus, nobody else in the world exists. She talks to me all the time. And she'd be like, "Did you hear a word I said?" "Nope. Didn't hear a word you said." Brian will tell you, when he bowled with me, I go into a zone that there's nothing there. But that's what I do.
what is your struggle with locking in your mechanics? When you guys feel like your mechanics are wrong or off, like what do you do to get yourself reset and back to what you should be doing?
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm still working on mechanics every day.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Every day.
always mechanics. If I feel like if something's off, then I just always go back to the basics. Always make sure I'm standing in the same spot. Make sure, like, I will slow my steps down. Make sure everything, like my arm swing, is going when it's supposed to, and I just do a full reset.
My biggest issue is I cannot set my feet. I can be in a range where I know I need to be, but if I set my feet, I'm too focused on my feet. I can't get past that thought process after that. So, Brian will even tell you, when I reset, I'll just grab the ball and just go throw it. And I'll strike probably 90% of the time.
Yeah.
It's because I cannot set my feet. That's my biggest flaw, and I can't figure it out.
Yeah, like you get to the spot and like you start running.
I walk. I
Well,
crawl
I know,
now.
but you know what I'm saying. You don't do the natural setup.
Right. I cannot set my feet. For some reason, it throws my whole game off.
You just get up there and go. Like you just don't.
Yep.
He walks to his mark and then he's all, just there he goes.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had a teammate on league who did something similar. This last summer league is he would like be behind the approach, and he was a two-handed lefty, and then he would take 2 steps, stop, and then go. I'm like, I don't even understand how you're standing in the same spot each time, but it works for you. I'm happy for you.
Right?
The
Again,
more I think,
no wrong way, right? Like
Right.
the more I think, the more devastation that comes with it.
There's a guy that's in my league house that he literally just walks up to the approach, and I'm using walk very loosely because he's definitely labored, and he just literally just stands there and chucks the ball. You know how many 300 games I've seen in this house? And it's not a very easy house to get 300 games. This dude crushes it all the time.
also, I think it's Big Josh Bowling wants to know why we all hate on lefties.
I don't hate on lefties.
I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't hate on lefties.
I would love to be a lefty because I would be in a world of my own.
It's only because I'm jealous. Exactly. I hate on you guys because
Right.
you're jealous.
I mean,
You have magical superpowers and the whole wide ass lane to yourselves. You.
But
I was
sometimes
gonna say I do like Steve's comment that was there. If we could all touch
What-
on that, what are we currently
what is-
struggling with most,
Yep. Yep.
and what are we doing to improve it?
Slow feet for me. I'm trying to slow my feet down. That's what I'm working on.
Yeah, I think that's a big struggle for a lot of people. My biggest struggle that I have is just like as I said at the beginning is just when to transition. That's the hardest thing for me. Like I'll get to the point where I'll finally transition to the right ball. And I was like, God, I had this idea like 4 frames ago. Why didn't I do it? So that's my biggest thing.
I think the biggest thing, and this is going to be a shout out to Bowling Nerd.
He was in the chat. I was going to tell you. Did you guys notice that he was in here?
I didn't catch him.
I was going to say I didn't see him.
But he was in here. He totally graced us with his presence.
This is going to be a big shout out to him because when I met him at Derek Tate's Memorial Tournament with DGAB, we were friends already on TikTok. He said hello to me, and it took me a good 5 to 10 minutes to realize who he was because I was confused. Because I'm like, looking at my shirt, I'm like, my name's not on my shirt. And then I'm like, I looked at Steve, and I'm like, I asked him, I'm like, is that Bowling Nerd? And he's like, yeah, I'm sure you're right. And then I got paired up with him, and I immediately said to him, I'm like, no disrespect, man. It took me like a good 5 to 10 minutes to realize who you were. And I was like, dude, but I love all your content. And we were already friends on TikTok, so it wasn't like there was any like miscommunication per se. But such a great dude. I was very honored to have him do the analysis on me. So getting back to the question, I'm wrapping the ball behind my back a lot because I'm trying to get an extra like push on the ball. I've been correcting that to make sure that I'm staying more of a pendulum. So I'm going to give him a ton of credit for that and I was falling backwards. So I'm staying in front and making sure the ball is not going around my back. Long story short, but shout out Bowling Nerd. Love you, buddy.
I got really excited. I didn't want to interrupt who was talking at the moment, but when he popped in, I was like,
interrupt me.
I love Richie. He's awesome.
You can interrupt me all day long. I'm used to it.
no, I'm respectful around here. So. I guess my biggest struggle right now, obviously, it kind of is like hand in hand, right?
There he is. He's in the chat.
Hey!
Hey, buddy.
Perfect timing. You interrupted her. Good job. No.
I was just giving you a shout out, bro. Your ears burning?
Were your ears itchy?
He's over there blushing.
Probably like, okay, fine, I'll say something. No, my biggest struggles obviously kind of go hand in hand right now. One, getting used to that 14 pounds, obviously, and trying not to, because I've spent so many years like having to be muscle pulling and muscle 15-pound balls and stuff like that. And so getting just to be able to relax into that 14 pounds and just actually letting that ball do what it's supposed to be doing. And then from the get-go, and it's been this way for years, and it's an everyday always struggle for me, is not coming around the ball too soon. I tend to come to the side of the ball a lot sooner than I'm supposed to be. So I have really always just been trying to keep, elbow next to my body, hand behind the ball. That's an everyday, always constant work for me. So.
Right, I was gonna say that's another thing I think a lot of people struggle with is keeping their elbow in.
Chicken wing.
I see that a lot. Yep.
Chicken wing.
Especially with people who don't use their thumb or one-hand bowlers. Tell them all the time. I'm like, dude, if I have to put you in a sling.
Yeah, I will have a couple guys on my team. Like, if I'm not throwing to my mark and it's not making it there, I immediately hear, dude, you're flapping your chicken wing, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. Sorry, like it's either behind the back or pendulum, and that's only two way possible. Yes, that's 100% correct right there, D-Gab. Spinners. Anybody that's a spinner is coming around the ball.
And we'll actually have, I think we just got to reach out to him for sure and confirm and stuff. But what would you consider him, Stephen? Would you consider Samuel a spinner?
I think so, yeah. Yep.
So
yeah,
I mean,
which
we will have a spinner style type guest on this podcast. So I mean, like I said, that's one of the things that we're super excited about is having those different styles represented. So
yeah, I was gonna say that was one of the questions I was gonna ask was because I watch a lot of like international bowling, and it's really big. International is that spinning style, and like just another one of those different styles that that I want to eventually get into.
Is that like the Hadouken style?
No. So pretty much what it is your ball, instead of rotating on its axis, it's just spinning like this down the lane. It just has a giant top spin.
It's like a top. Yeah, it's like a top.
Yeah.
And so I actually took a deep dive into, not like a super, super deep dive, but I did take a little bit of a dive into the spinner world, right? And they purposely, I think their max weight is like 13 pounds. They don't go anything above 13 pounds in order to be able to get the maximum spin on that. It's crazy. Most people live in that like 12-pound realm, but there's a few people who live in like the 13s and they can do it really well. But most people live in the 12-pound ball range when it comes to that spinner style bowling.
Well,
yeah, if you ever want to see messengers be thrown, that's the style for it.
Well, a lot of them guys don't want to be affiliated with American bowling either. That they want their own style. I mean, that's why they have their own bowling balls. That's why we consider them overseas balls, because they're not USB sanctioned or USPC sanctioned. But I mean, they just want to be them. They don't want to be compared to Americans.
Right. Pretty cool though.
Yeah, to each their own.
Yeah, they don't. I've noticed that too.
And they got a lot cooler designs than we have. I'm sorry to say it.
Right? If they weren't so expensive, the time I've seen different like IQ balls that are overseas, I'm like, I want, like I just seen one today on my Facebook. I was like, I want that so bad, but I don't want to spend like $500 for it.
I know, like the IQ, like the pink IQ ball or whatever.
Yeah.
IQ, the pink one. I want that one so bad. I'm like, it's so expensive though.
Yeah, that overseas mania looked dope. I'm like, I want it.
Right?
I think we've all fallen for at least one overseas ball, have we?
Oh yeah.
Guilty.
I drool over.
Raise your hand.
Drool over a lot of them.
They fall in love with an overseas ball. Yeah.
Yeah. Just want to make sure.
Stitch says so too. That's the wife's. It's not mine. I promise.
Yeah. Sure, buddy. Fine.
Hey,
We listen.
if I want to
Don't judge.
If I want to cry on Stitch's shoulder, that is my business.
I hear you.
Next time, just warn us, and we'll all bring our stuffies. Come on, man! Like we don't want to all.
That's
be
right.
My
Like,
stuff
I've
is
got my baby
gone.
Grogu upstairs. Like he's giant. I'll bring him down next time. Let's have a party. Copper Black Widow Platinum.
I'd say Decap's question, what's the worst rolling ball ever? To me, I think the worst ball, at least that Storm has ever made, is the Storm Sun. That's ugly yellow ball. I hate it.
I have a jigsaw corner that I can't figure out. That stupid ball, I want to roll down the road.
Right?
I think mine was, unfortunately, I'd have to say it was the Hammer Statement Hybrid. I hated that ball.
It didn't leave a statement?
No, not by any means. And I was like,
OG one Bushy, I think is.
Yeah, I was going to say the OG one.
yeah, it did not match up with me very well at all.
I
That factor.
don't know if I'll get a hate for this or not, but I personally did not like the DNA.
I was going to say, I didn't like the DNA either. The DNA coil I was okay with.
Yeah.
But I don't know if necessarily it was the ball itself or the way that I had it drilled, because
I've heard a lot of people say DNA did not match up with any of them, but it was fine.
yeah.
So I don't think it's necessarily a layout in that issue.
Yeah. It was the one and only ball that I drilled like pinned down where my, obviously where the pin
Yeah.
is, right? But I hated it. Hated it. I wanted to throw it in the dumpster. I wanted to light it on fire. I did not like that ball at all.
I threw my statement off a 3-story building just for fun.
Did you film it?
No, there was. I was at. I couldn't have proof at work.
I would have taken a video of it just to keep it for like my own little
I'm like, I was
Whenever you're feeling down, just
Whenever you're feeling
bring
down,
that
you're
video
like,
back
I
up.
need to feel just a little bit of joy.
I was in a warehouse. And bye.
Bye, Felicia. He died of natural causes. You pushed him off the building.
Sometimes
Gravity's natural. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, let's be honest. How many bowling balls do we all have now?
Are we talking all together in regards to like totals, or are we talking current arsenal?
Totals, all together.
Current 10.
Current, probably. I think I'm at like 22 now.
In my 14 pounds, I have 6, including my spare ball. In my 15 pounds, I have 18.
Oh, you make me feel so much better about myself.
And then all together, because we're also including, his balls as well, we're sitting at like grand total of maybe 30 altogether.
How many balls, bro?
Did you have to walk away and count them?
No, I had to go get ibuprofen. My head's pounding.
No, he has no idea.
You can't handle us.
So I can go open up the back of the trunk, and I guarantee there's a pro shop in there.
How many balls are your balls?
I have
You're dedicated.
1, 2, 3, 4. I think I got about 12 or 13 just for me.
We're all kind of pretty close.
But we have probably close to 40 some balls, 45 balls in this house.
Yeah. I've seen the picture of the back of your van.
Here, cargo.
Yeah.
It's a pro shop. I'm telling you. Only thing I need in there's a drill press.
Thanks.
I want to open a pro shop. That'd be dope as hell.
Right. I think that's the only thing in a bowling alley I don't know how to do is operate anything in a pro shop.
If I can learn, if somebody would be willing to teach me, I would drill my own stuff. I would invest in getting all the stuff to do it.
D-Gap says run.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
He says it's 4th and 10, punt.
He's like, don't do it! Run away! Run
I was going to say, I don't think necessarily I want to open a pro shop. I just want to be able to drill my own
do
stuff.
your own stuff. Yeah.
You're right.
I want my own, like, again, like I talked about earlier, right? Trust issues. Now, I love Jody. I love my pro shop guy.
Why we
He's
love
amazing. But if I could learn, right? Like, I mean, I'd be able to experiment more. I'd be able to try more new, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd have that capability and that accessibility to be able to be like, if I had a wild hair one day and be like, you know what? I want to see what a layout of this would do for the hell of it. And just go. That'd be awesome. Because I have balls that I had from my college days, which was 2008, 2009, that I could plug, re-drill, mess around with just because, you know what I mean? They're still good. I can't throw them for anything like tournament-wise, but they're still good. They might as well try. Oh, yeah. There you go. D-Gab just offered to give us a rundown on layouts.
Careful what you ask for.
He volunteered his tribute.
Right?
He volunteered his tribute.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I would like to learn is layouts, because I couldn't tell you a single, like, I know I have 3 different layouts on different equipment. Couldn't tell you what they are. All I know is my hyperdrive and my Zen is drilled the same. My Summit and my Phase 2 are drilled the same. And then my Pitch Black it's in its own thing.
Yeah. My Identity is the only one that I know for sure what the layout is on that one. And the only reason why I know it is because it was easy to remember. It's a 5x4x3. 5x4x3. So I was like, easy.
I think mine is 5.5 right, 3/4 down. I think that's what mine is.
Is that your PAP?
Yep. I don't have a thumb, so.
My PAP is like 1 up and like 4 3/16 to the right.
What's
I have
PLS
mine
mean?
somewhere in some notebook.
That feels right to me. I could be wrong, but that feels right to me. What do I know? I'm not a pro shop person.
Right?
Me neither.
Thanks.
I can't fact check you because I don't know.
Right? I don't know. That's why we're doing this. We're learning.
It could be 500 by 200 by 300. I'd say okay.
What you gonna do?
Which, by the way, speaking of all those numbers, don't want to like poke any bears here, but why does Baby Joe look like Butchie? Like a Butchie baby.
Because he doesn't have a beard.
Right.
But that was a great post, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Also, if anybody knows how to do that, we have requests.
For real.
There are things that I think would blow up on TikTok.
A baby pickle. D-Gap signed himself up for us, Brian.
To come on and teach us about different layouts and things.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah, bro,
don't
you
worry.
said
I will be downloading this live. They will be getting a copy. They can clip, trip, and do all the fun stuff that they want to.
Rip.
Right?
I will make sure if I host a live, we will not be in the bowling alley. You all will not get nip slips, okay? I promise.
Aw, man. That's what I was hoping for.
No flash mobs?
No flash
Nope.
mobs? Come on, man.
Like literally flash mob?
just everybody in the bowling alley.
Right, like, come on, what kind of show you running over there?
Hey, you got to make money for bowling somehow. I'm just saying, $20 is $20. I'm just saying.
You gonna set up a cash app for this?
Right.
You
That
take
Mo
your
account?
lessons just comes with this kind of a fee.
Now that guy, he is the purest person I've ever met. He's got a Black Widow 2.0 in his house that's never been drilled. He goes, I have a ball that you might like. I'm going to bring it to you. I was like, well, I don't want it. Pass it on to somebody else. He's like, are you hot? I'll DoorDash you a fan. I mean, he's just that type of guy. I mean, he had a brain tumor that he had to get removed, and it, you know how when they start messing around up here, it kind of crosses some wires. But
Yeah.
other than that, he's a super, super sweet dude. I mean, he brings kids quarters and let them play at the games. He pays for people to bowl. I mean, there was one group of people up there one time, just kids just bowling. They were like, oh, we got to go home now. He's like, well, I'll pay for you a couple more games if you want to bowl. Are you sure? I mean, he's just that type of guy.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think you met him, Brian. Adam,
Yeah.
the curly hair guy.
Yeah, I know exactly what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
everyone
he's
in that house is very, very nice.
oh yeah, little crazy, but they're nice.
I mean, it's Ohio.
Right.
Now, I know that I'm not going to nationals and I have no advice. Steven, are you going to nationals at all in Baton Rouge this year?
I am not going to nationals. It's
Okay.
just too hard to fly there.
Right.
me.
Coburn, Brian, are either one of you?
Yes, I've already paid for everything. I just had to set up my hotel stay. Me and my wife are gonna go hang out for a little while, and I'm gonna probably get my butt kicked.
And you know what, D-Gap? We'll all slide over there and support you.
Right?
I gotta make sure my kids are in bed first. Thankfully, I have them taken care of right now while we're doing the podcast. But I'm like, ooh, they probably should go to bed here soon. And then I'll be there.
Unfortunately, I can't do out-of-state tournaments right now. As long as grass is growing, I have to mow, and I'm everybody else's dispense, so I have to cater to them. So I'm grounded to this area for right now, and that's my only issue.
I do plan on making a appearance at the next one, though. I believe it's Reno again.
Yep. I was going to say, I'm definitely going to Reno.
Yeah,
At least I can drive there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
that's not happening.
yeah. Unfortunately, but definitely Reno. Maybe Vegas the next time for sure, because Vegas is only like 5.5 hours away for Steven and I. Like, not that far. So we could
I
definitely
mean,
make it an
I was
appearance.
going to say, I go to Vegas, what, four or five times a year?
Yeah. I'm like, you go
So-
a lot. So that's easy for you. I'm like, I'll bandwagon on. We'll buddy down there, Steven. We'll all go down
Right.
there for nationals when it's here.
Plus, I don't feel I'm good enough yet for stuff like that. I know, I get it. You never know until you put yourself out there. But I'm struggling on sports shots right now. And it's my first time ever doing it. So I just don't have the experience.
Which, I mean, you're doing it the right way. You're doing it a way where you're
Prepared.
in the kiddie pool, let's say,
Yeah.
right? Like you're in the
You gotta have
shallow
fun.
end, you're in the safety zone, kind of. You're getting that experience and you're learning what works and what doesn't work before you make that leap. But at some point, right,
He's not wrong.
gotta just.
I know. But, I mean, there's so much I still got to learn. I mean, I'm learning now to read the lane on if the ball's overhooking or underhooking. I mean, that's a crucial factor. I'm actually finding that I play better in oil than I do outside of oil. So, like a lot of people like to go up to 5-10 board. I'm not a 5-10 board thrower. I'm a 20 over 15. I mean,
They're making very good points. Are you reading that?
They're all about support for you, buddy. Like, here's the thing. I went to Reno. So last time it was here, right? The last time it was in Reno, I went to nationals for the very first time. I walked in with a 146 average. I was rated at a 146 average. I walked out with a 149 average. I struggled. Teams, I bowled, my highest game was a 198. Like, I went like a 120, 140, 198 during teams, I think. So, it was my very first time. I wouldn't have not changed that experience for anything in the world. I was frustrated as hell. But I was brand new, and it was one of those things that I was like, I don't want to miss any opportunity. I went for a learning opportunity, and I met some really cool people and got to meet some of the storm vendors and things like that. And it was really cool. I had a really awesome experience.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to nationals, but like a similar tournament is the TAT tournament in Vegas, and everything. Their big old $10,000 tournament that they have down there. And yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna do it, and I went in with a one. I think my first one was a 157 average, and then in my division, I ended up taking second place. I missed the final, being in the finals by 2 pins. And am I mad about it? No, because at the end of that, my ball speed was 11 miles an hour.
Whatever.
so Big Josh, I just recently started on Sports Pattern. First time I ever threw on it, I thought it would be okay. I mean, I knew that I had to play different. I think the first pattern I ever threw on was, I think it was Wolf. I threw that ball straight down. That ball snapped so hard, and I was intrigued with the different motion that the ball had. So, I mean, it was an eye-opener, and it's very humbling. And I promise you, you go from sport pattern to house shot, you are phenomenal after throwing a sports shot. Shut up, Hayden. I hate that pattern.
It's the worst. If you ever want to be humbled, that's definitely the pattern you throw on.
By the way, we're close to Hayden, so no hate.
You all can love Hayden. I'm just kidding. I have to admit, I'm very proud of Hayden. He's done more in his bowling than I have done so far. He's put himself out there. He's put himself in tournaments, and he's switched from one hand, no thumb bowling to two hand. I mean, he's getting there. He's getting there. He's doing great. I mean, he's got killer revs. He's got super great speed. I'm just so proud of him.
Yeah, he's doing great, bro.
All right, fellas. Well, we are coming up on the 2-hour mark. I didn't expect it to go this long. And
Right.
like, I love you guys. But let's save some for the next one, shall we?
Who's the party pooper?
Yes, I agree.
Well, we've got some other people who want to go live and do their thing too. We want to support them. We can't hog it all.
It's fine. I'm just teasing.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for bringing me on to this podcast opportunity. I am so excited to keep this going. Next week's going to be awesome. Again, for those of you who are just joining us or who have been in here as a reminder, next week we will be live on Steven's profile with Zach from ZVL Bowling. So please make sure that you join us and tune in. If you don't follow Steven already, click on his profile, follow him so that you do not miss that. 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and anywhere in between that works for you guys. And thank you for joining myself, Steven, Brian, aka Pickles, and Cobra the Molar here on The Learning Curve, and we will catch you all.
Before we end, if you guys aren't following anybody in the chat, let's get that. Let's
Yes.
get a big community going.
Yes.
Because that's what it's about, is growing the community and
yes.
everything, bringing in more people.
If there are names in the chat that you don't recognize, that you have been noticing, take the opportunity, like, follow, share some of their stuff, repost some of their stuff. Let's get more faces on us as bowlers in the community. So
I
Right,
promise
the whole point
everybody-
is to grow.
Yep.
I promise you, everybody will engage with each other. It's a really tight knit group.
yes, yes. I know that anybody who tags me in anything, I always repost their stuff. I always try to like or comment on their things. That's what we're here for. That's what we are here for. So,
Support each other. Period.
yep. So
Yeah, I was going to say, also, if everybody who's in the chat, D-Gab, it looks like he just went live.
Yeah.
Go join him over there.
Slide on over, join his
Let's
Go to the after party.
after party in the
Exactly.
DK side. Exactly.
The after
So,
party, just not
Alright.
the Diddy party.
yes. You guys have such a great rest of your night. Again, thank you so much for joining all of us here at The Learning Curve, and we will catch you next week.
Much love.
Bye.